Hey everyone, Stone Coyote here. Got a wild hair to make to remake one of my dreams games. Basically, this would just be a practice game to refine some skills I'm using in other games that are a little bit more important. But I figure might as well do a devlog while I'm doing it, right? Okay. So the game is Cabin Fever, and just is very simple. Real basic premise. You go up to stay in your little cabin in the mountains, and a blizzard or a torrential rainfall or whatever, depending on the season you're playing in, stops you from leaving. Basically, blocks off your exit, is all. So you've got to survive in your little cabin in the surrounding areas for as long as you can. It's basic premise. Um, The original has some stuff that I plan to integrate into this one as well. Pardon me, it had like an insanity thing where if you weren't doing stuff to enrich your mind and keep your character active and doing stuff, they would start to go insane and have stuff like the trophies on the wall talking to them. TV starts playing old broadcasts, stuff like that. Really interesting, fun to do sort of game. So I decided might as well bring it over to the actual obtainable markets where people can play this cool game. And with that said, I'm pretty much starting from scratch. I've made some folders and whatnot over here. Made the hierarchy of how the game's going to be laid out structurally. So now I'm just making the stuff. Won't be a lot going on, won't be a lot to narrate, so I'm gonna mute it and listen to some music while I go, but anything that warrants explanation, I'll make sure to pipe in. Alright, for here I'm going to not make the widgets, but set them, not set the widgets up, but make them. Widget blueprint underscore HUD. Context menu. No real need to. We're also going to need. Let's separate that into main menu and game menu. Okay. And while I'm here, let's make a UI controller class. Okay. System core will need interfaces, need structs. Need a save system. Interfaces, structs, save system. I feel like I'm missing something. Okay, well. Game instance, fever, main. Okay, that won't really have anything on it at the moment. Let's see, we also want to make a save game object class thing. Save game object, Kevin fever system, make another one. That was silly. Yeah, that's all we need. Don't quite know the best way to... Yeah, that should do for now. Again, we don't have the stuff we need to save in there yet. And this is where this will start. Structure, player info. Item, player info, inventory, item. Furniture. time. Now the cabin won't like have a name or like it could have an overall condition. Sure, why not? What it will have is stuff that needs upgrading. So, say the outhouse. Repaired. And I'll fill all that stuff in as I go through my notes and think about it and whatnot. There's a fair amount of stuff that I set up in the other version that could be upgraded and repaired and all that to help you survive a little better. Of course, it all takes resources and all that, but there you have it. That will do for now. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Ooh. That'll do for now. Furniture, this is each piece of furniture will have this, so these will have names. Yeah, that should do for furniture. Inventory, this is definitely going to be one of those things that I have to double check on what it is. Ooh, I should also make one for the pantry, so that food and stuff like sticks and stones don't all have to share the same database, basically. Let's see. Use a lot of branches. Fair few rocks, too. And the thing about setting up an inventory structure is we can then just apply it to two different objects. Player inventory and a cabin inventory or something like that. And that's how I had it set up originally. Let's see. Branches, rocks. Oh, jeez. Let's just go ahead and do that. Matches. So that'll get us started. Let's see. Player info. This one definitely can have a name. You can set up a This doesn't mean strength like the RPG stat, like you can chop trees better. This means like the actual strength to do physical tasks. Okay. Let's see, is there anything else the player needs on at first? No, I don't think so. Okay. Time is a bit easier. There we go. Inventory. Item. Did we set up item? We didn't. Can't think of anything else an item would have, right? I'm sure I will be able to think of it, but that's the fun thing about a struct. You can just edit it all from one easy place. Okay. So now we're going to have more to do in the game instance eventually. This is where I like to put the save functions. But for now, we're just putting all these. Furniture, inventory, item. And that's going to be an array. Wait, what all is in furniture? Yep, that's an array, alright. Okay. This could possibly end up being more like each piece of furniture gets its own dealio, but for now, I think this is how we're dealing with it. But speaking of dealing with it, now we have to deal with something that's a little bit annoying. Oh, hey, what's this? That was different. Now we get to copy all this over. And we won't actually need the other archive. And okay, system is a little bit different. System is going to hold completely different values. It's going to hold like achievements and... Hey! There we go, that's a couple of basic ones, but we also want there we go. And we won't actually save that in this one, we will save that in system. Because we want achievements to be more universal, you know? Did I forget to... I did. This way your achievements aren't reset every time you start a new game. Alright, so I think we have those basics set up. Right? Right. Okay. And we can pretty much close this stuff for now. Okay, interfaces. These, if you aren't familiar, they are a slightly more advanced concept in Unreal Engine blueprints. These allow two blueprints to communicate without being linked to each other. So I'll show you after I make this. So save all. Let's go. Let's start making some things. Okay, we've got a berry bush. Great. Let's go ahead and save it. Now, let's also make a mushroom. Now, let's open up the size map. 22 kilobytes. 22.1. Yeah. Probably something to do with the length of the name. Interesting. Anyways, so now open it up. Boop. 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 Alright, unbegin play. Get actor class. Mushroom. Save. Now look at this. Both the mushroom and the berry bush exist in the berry bush. I don't think it goes the other way. I could be wrong. Yeah. So that at least is good. Now, the way we avoid this is we open up our mushroom. We go to class settings. We go to implemented interfaces and we add BPI interaction. There it is. One thing I forgot to do is, if there's no function on there, it doesn't tend to get called, so now on begin play, get all actors with interface, interaction, get the closest, and you aren't usually calling things with interface other than itself, but I'm pretty sure it'll be its own, so if equals self, just to be safe, of course. Yeah. Give it a branch and get 1. So on 1, by the way, just to show you the difference here, really, I need to set something up. So the reason we generally get an actor is to either count how many there are, or to do something on that other actor. So we could have a custom event here, say hi. We do that custom event. In berry bush, we play just to not have it right away. Get actor class, mushroom, what was it? Say hi. Say hi. Now let's do a little bit of setting up in the real world, so we can, or in the game world, so we can actually show this. Doop 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 doop. We need a berry bush, and we need a mushroom. Hello. Okay. Right. What is going on here? How did that happen? Okay. Anyways, also let's do that. Hello. Yes, yes, we get it. Alright. So, but again, as we displayed, now we have everything referenced together. If we instead do this, oops. Oops. If it is, set 1 is the instanced actor. If it isn't self, set 0 is the instanced actor. Okay. Then we use, what is it? Interact. Yes, yes. Come on, Fat. Send an interact message. After that. Well, it's not going to have the delay now, is it? And the delay is almost nothing, so let's make it actually 2 seconds. What the heck? Alright, let's see. And now we also get the hello. However, just to recap, oops. There it is. Now it's just the berry bush. Great, right? Just it prevents all your blueprints from getting too bloated by talking to each other if you use interfaces. So that's why I set those up. Okay, so those are set up. Great, great, great. Set them up better later. Let's see. Interfaces, great. We have the state system, we have the structs. Okay. Let's go ahead and make a system core. Oops. And something for timekeeping. These will handle all the stuff like when the player presses a button to open up a menu. Well, that'll actually go to this guy. But any saving stuff will go through here into the game instance, for one thing. This will simply keep time. In a game like this, it's important, but in other games, you can just adjust the tick of the other actors. And that reminds me, we have stuff that's going to be in the scene all the time, and it does not need to tick. So, what that's getting at is the tick. By default, this happens on every frame. And it's always checking, do I do something? 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 However, we can go into the actor settings over here and set the interval to, say, 10 seconds and disable the tick. Everything in this actor will still function. Ooh, look what I forgot. Blueprint interface, system, core, core. Just to show you that it will have no functional difference. Okay. middle with interface. Core. Get 0th, which is closest. Report core. Okay, I believe Kronos isn't in the game at the moment. Okay. Core present. There it is. So it's not like disabling the tick on these things is going to affect anything except the event tick. This ain't gonna do nothing. I think. I've never actually tested that before. Yeah, see, does nothing. Good to confirm stuff like that. So, I've actually found a lot of performance gain by just disabling that tick in anything that doesn't need to report. On the other hand, another thing I haven't tested. Sphere collision. Yeah, I don't care about the name. There we go. I think the sphere needs to be ticked. And I think that needs to go every frame. I see. I think that's because I don't have a mesh. No, that's not it. So maybe this doesn't actually tick, does it? Are they actually within? Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Nope, still not. That's okay. Learn something new every day, right? Yep. Yep. Let's test that. Well then. What I thought was true is not. What's going on here? feel like I'm missing something here. Well, this is just bizarre. Just plain bizarre. They're just not recognizing each other at all. Okay. Well, that works, but that is tripping me out. Well, we can definitely say that it's not related to the tick, as what I was trying to prove. But geez, how do I even prove that now? I guess it's not entirely important yet, is it? Well, let's go ahead and put some light in here. Alright. I see. Interesting. Okay. So let's put a plane down. They just aren't reporting each other, that's all. Weird. Well, whatever, the player can see. Oh, hey, that's the player can do it. I can test it that way. Okay. Disable the tick. See if the player does the overlap thing. Look at that. Maybe. Let's make sure. Yep. Okay. That's perfect. So, even with the tick off, it still reports overlaps and stuff. What about if I turn your tick off? Let's find out. I seriously doubt this will keep working. Hey! Well, you know. It worked once. Yeah, sure enough. I didn't expect that to work at all. Well, ain't that something? So even the dang collision doesn't need to tick. There's no reason to tick these. Wait, chronos were ticking because best we're ticking a second because it has to keep time. I am impressed with that, but none of that is strictly necessary at the moment. That is necessary at the moment. That was all just testing to make sure it works. Okay. But, so this is no longer necessary. That's not necessary. We were using it just for testing. Oops. Boop. And there we go. Chronos also doesn't need a mesh. That was just for theory crafting. Okay, so what are we actually doing? Save system core. We have an interaction, a player and a system core interface. I believe I was playing with mushrooms, right? Forage, berry bush. Let's also get into this fella. go. Because we have stuff here to mess with. Alrighty, so first thing we need to do, we can do this two ways. We can use a line trace from the camera and align that to a cursor, or we can just use a capsule collision. I don't think we need to do anything but use a capsule collision on this one. If it turns out we need more than a capsule collision, I have a system I can use to do a line trace from the camera. Let's make you visible in the game for testing again. Great. As you can see, it basically forms a crosshair, but all white and whatnot. And that is how we do that. Alright, so very basic stuff here. Begin, and okay. If the other actor does implement interface, interaction, then get it, promote it. See, we're gonna want to do the damn line trace anyway, aren't we? Alright, so here's what we do. Now I want to do this. Switch on 0. as the current interactive object. That's not the right way to do this. Okay. Oops. Get. Find the near. Oh my. Okay, this is going to end up being a function. Okay, so self get location, do that thing, move this guy here, you up here. Okay, set all of that to that. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, that's the best. Okay, move you here. Move everyone down a bit. Perfect. There we go. That should be the current interaction object. And if we interact, what is okay? Go ahead and add this guy. Completed. Get current interaction object. Interact. Okay. Berry bush does need a skeletal mesh. Bush model. Ooh, no, it needs a static mesh. Silly me. There we go. For now, it's a chamfer cube. Big chamfer cube. Okay. No need for all that. What are you doing, Berry Bush? Goodness. Okay. So, ooh, what did I forget? Hello. Okay. Right. Just the interact thing, so it needs the interact thing. Some choke cherries. Let's see. Oh yeah, because it doesn't. Let's make sure it doesn't do it automatically. Yeah, ain't that great? Okay. Now, to test one other thing real quick. One mushroom, two mushrooms. Great. Let's give mushrooms a shape. Right. Where's my mushrooms? Okay. Another static mesh. This one's a cylinder because it's a mushroom. Why not? Oops. Let's see. Let's move you a little closer now. Yeah, so it only gets the closest object. Simple enough, I suppose. Alrighty, so we have a player who can now look at or interact with various things. So we have all this nonsense. Okay, I think this is running long, way long. So for now, I'm gonna call it, and we will pick this up in the next episode. I'll start actually making the mechanics that we need to do. We'll need to eat and drink and all that stuff. I'm already pretty experienced with all that kind of stuff from other games. If any of you watch these devlogs, you're aware of that. So this might be a mocked up working concept pretty quick. Might be looking for assets on the library in the next few days. Who knows? If it all goes well, I'll dig out my archives on all the stuff that needs to be in the game, and we'll get this rock and rolling. Catch y'all's next time.